Hello student. Today we are going to start with our new chapter, Management of Natural Resources. A brief introduction about management of natural resources means in this chapter we are going to discuss how we are going to manage our natural resources. So let's start with the new chapter, Management of Natural Resources. What is natural resources? The first term we have to discuss is what is natural resources. So natural resources are the resources available in a nature like air, water, sunlight, soil, minerals, forest, wildlife, etc. Natural resources are of two main types. They are renewable and non-renewable natural resources. So what is basically natural resources is, in simple term, we can say that those resources, those resources which is which is provided provided by by nature, that is no human activity, no human no human activity activity takes place takes place in its in its formation. What does it mean? It means that the thing which is being provided by nature itself, like river, we go on a river, that is river is not been made by any human being, it is a naturally provided by the nature. Like forest is never developed by a human being, it is automatically developed by a nature. Like wildlife, minerals, air is never produced by nature. So all those things which is not been produced or developed by a human being or any other organism, such things which is naturally be present on this earth, such type of things are called natural resources. Okay, so natural resources are basically of two types. Number one, renewable natural resources and non-renewable. The term renewable and non-renewable means, renewable means those which we can produce again and again, produced again and again, produced again and again, again and again. Okay, like, that is, it cannot be replenished. Those resources which can be replenished in a short period of time, like air, water, sunlight, forest, etc. So what is basically renewable? Suppose the formation of the things take in a short formation takes a small period of time, small period of time, like sunlight. If a one day, suppose today is Monday, on Monday we get a sunlight. Okay, on Monday we get sunlight, and at night we lose the sunlight, but on Tuesday again we get a sunlight. Tuesday we again get a sunlight. The what is the duration between Monday and a Tuesday? There is only a 12-hour duration. What is the basics of the needs of the sunlight is for providing energy to the plant, providing energy to the plant for the process of photosynthesis. So after every 12 hours, the plant gets a sunlight as a source of energy and can perform all its function. So this energy which is been obtained on Monday will again get on Tuesday. That is, it can be reproduced by a sun after 12 hours. Okay, after 12 hours, it can be reproduced. So anything which can be produced in a shortest period of time, that is called a renewable resources. Like forest. Suppose this is an area. Okay, it's a land. It's a barren land. That is, there is no plant. I have planted a few plants over here, over here, over here, over here, and by nature, that is rainfall, weathers, and so on, these plants develops into trees. Okay. These plants develops into trees, and as it is develops into trees, small animals will be formed. Like suppose animals will become over here, and when the animals comes here, the maybe herbivorous and carnivorous both will become. First the herbivorous come in search of herbivorous, of carnivorous also come, and finally this area belongs to animals of herbivorous, carnivorous, as well as short plants, trees, shrubs, herbs. So all together we call it a forest. Now suppose we cut down all the trees. Okay, we cut down all the trees. Then what happened? All the animal leave this place because there is no tree. The herbivores go from here, and behind that the carnivores also. Again, this land is converted into a barren land. Okay. Then again, I plant a tree. Start planting a tree. Then of 10 years of a time, this barren land again develops into a forest. So for the development of any forest, it only takes a time period of 10 years. So such things are called renewable, which has been developed after the shortest period of time, not take a millions of years. That is called renewable. And what do you mean a non-renewable? Non-renewable means which cannot be produced in a shortest period of time. Maybe it produced, but it takes lot of time for its production. So now we go on the non-renewable. So those resources which cannot be replenished in a short period of time, like minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, metals, because they take millions of years to be formed. So what is basically non-renewable species? Let's suppose we take an example of coal. Okay, we take an example of coal. We get these coals from coal mine, coal mine. What we get in coal mines? Suppose this is an earth. Okay, I just take an round ball. This is an earth. We go inside. We found that there is a hard rocks. This is suppose a coal. We dig these coals and take out from outside. So what is basically these are coals. I just show you in a coal. Okay, and this area from where we are taking out is called a mines. So mines means underground minerals when from where we obtain is called a mines. So coal is been obtained, it's called a coal mines. How the coal is formed? Coal is formed by deposition of plant for a several years. Get buried. Plants get buried. What do you mean? Suppose there is a forest over here and this tree was fallen down. Now the tree get fallen down, a soil, everything is get deposited over, and finally this tree is get buried under the earth. Now it takes about 100 to 500 years to convert into coal. How much year? 100 to 500 years to convert into coal. Maybe it is of 1000 years also, depending on the quality of coal. Depending on quality of coal. So the best coal takes about 1000 years. Least best, that is, there are different type of coal, like coke is one of the type of coal, or quartzite, graphite is also another type of coals, or anthracite is the type of coal. So anthracite takes about 500 years. If it is again buried for more than 500, it becomes coke, which is the best quality. So depending on, it takes about 100 to 500 years. So for a single plant to convert into a coal, it must be buried under the earth for at least for 100 years or 500 years. So this is the biggest. If suppose I have a limited amount of coal, suppose here I have only 10 kg of coal. Here I have only 10 kg of coal, and one plant one plant buried for 100 years produce 5 kg of coal. So at least two plant is required to obtain a 10 kg. Let's suppose two plant is required. And how much time it takes? It takes about 100 years. If I use all the 10 kg of coal today, then for next 99 years or 100 years, we don't have a coal. We don't have a coal. We lost this resource. So the renewable time is so large that we cannot retain or we get these resources in a as speed as we require. So non-renewable means those which take a lot of time, and such are coal, petroleum, natural gas, metals. They when get buried in earth, they take about 100 to 1000 years for its conversion and formation. Such things are called non-renewable natural resources. How we are going to lose? Human activities produce a lot of waste material which are thrown away into the environment. These waste causes pollution to natural resources like air, water and soil. So what is basically the use of lot of things by human being? Finally what gives? It gives a wastage. These wastage when being thrown into the environment, it causes pollution. The more, that is the pollution of the nature get polluted, by which natural resources are being replenished or are being lost. And these pollutions are mainly air pollution, water pollution and soil pollution. So the most important thing is that those things which are being in our control, that if we can use a less amount of coal, that means less amount of air pollution will be caused, less amount of ashes will be obtained, and less amount of ashes means less amount of soil or water pollution will be there. Less amount of petroleum if we use, then there is a less amount of air pollution, because burning of such coals and petroleum releases a toxic gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, oxides of nitrogen, carbon monoxide, etc. And these gases pollute the atmosphere or the environment, by which reducing the percentage of oxygen in the atmosphere. Through this, what happened? The growth rate of plant or the survival rate of plant or animals is reduced. So The most important thing is that human activities must be dropped down. That means the use of the minimum use of natural resources and maximum use of the energy which is been renewable, like sun energy or water energies. These are the things. The next important thing is Ganga Action Plan. This is the most important plan, and the very from the beginning days, it is a too much time taking plan which is being formed in India. This plan was Ganga Action Plan or GAP, was a program launched by Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi in 1986. That time Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India and he has launched this program. What are the purpose of this program? Is to reduce the pollution load on the river. What is actually Ganga Action Plan is, Ganga is the holy river of India. So the most important thing is, what is Ganga? It is a holy river of India, as well as it is the largest river of India. Largest river of India. So Ganga is the largest river of India. The drainage area is very large. Drainage area is very large, which means that lot of the water of Ganga is being used for irrigation purpose. Lot of the water of Ganga is being used for irrigation purpose, that is for farming. Irrigation means farming. So for farming purposes, the Ganga river is mostly being used in India, especially in North India. Especially in North and North India. So what is the most important part is that due to it has been running in from the center or in between the several states of the country, the lot of the wastage are being drained in the Ganga. That is the human waste that is being obtained from the human activity. This pollutes the Ganga river too much. So to clean the Ganga river, the Ganga Action Plan was launched, and this project was launched by Rajiv Gandhi in 1986. How the Ganga get polluted? The number one is human waste. That is our domestic uses like bathing water, laundry water, or public defecations. That is the bathrooms and so on, whatever sewage waters, whichever the wastage, our household wastage. You can say that this is the household waste water. These household waste water are drained into the river Ganga, which make it polluted, which make it polluted. Another important thing is the industrial waste. That is, what are the waters are being waste waters obtained from the industries are being untreated. That is, they are not cleaned and they are directly drained into the river, and by which the river get polluted. So to remove these things, the plan has been working to clean the water before draining into the river. So what they do, they first collect the water from the human waste, that is the household of the cities, that is municipalities, collect the waters, as well as industrial waste. Industrial, both the waters are being covered, and then a sewage treatment program, sewage treatment technology, sewage treatment technology, the water is going to be cleaned, and when it becomes polluted free, that is, there is no waste materials are being present in that water, then such water is being drained into the rivers. Another important thing is a religious event. During the festival season, people bath in Ganga to clean themselves from the sins. A Hindu belief is that dropping the ashes of the cremated bodies at Varanasi in the Gangas would give moksha, liberation to the jivas. So there is also some religious thing, that is it is a religious river, and by which the religious sentiments is been attached, and due to this there is lot of protest will be taken place in this country to clean this river, by which the river is must to be kept for clean. These are some pictures which help to understand what are the natural resources. Like, look at this picture. These are the oceans, a river flowing over here. We found this river, and this river is formed by nature itself. This is a lake, it is also formed by nature. We found these rivers, a forest and animals. This is also formed by a nature. So these all things, like a forest over here, a desert area. This is the petroleum plant, from the petrol is being obtained. This is a coal rock. This is a coal rock which is being taken out from the mines. So these all pictures help us to understand that these all things, whether it is a forest, a lakes, rivers, forests, deserts, petroleums, coals, etc., these are never been produced by any human body. It is only be obtained naturally to a nature's activity. Such things are called natural resources. Now the most important thing, the 3R to save the environment. What are 3R stand? So we human beings are damaging our environment. Today we human beings are damaging our environment. Are damaging our environment, and the main method of damaging is through pollution, whether it is air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, any pollution, but we are damaging our environment. To reduce the damage of the environment, we have to use a method of 3R. That is, we write it by this method, that is 3R. What does it mean? The 3R means, number 1R means reduce. First of all, we have to use the process reduce, which means we had to use less natural resources and avoiding wastage of natural resources. That is, like we are using coal as a source of energy, so we have to use less coal. We have to use less coal as a source of energy. Source of energy. Instead of this, we have to use a sunlight as a source of energy. Light as a source of energy. How? Coal is also used for manufacturing electricity. Electricity today, whichever the electricity we are getting, it is been obtained from coal. Most, about 60% of the Indian electricity is being obtained from coal. So if we reduce the production of electricity from coal, so will fulfill all these things from sunlight. What we can do, we can produce electricity through sunlight. The method is solar panel. By the help of solar panel, we can produce electricity, and what it helps to reduce the production, use the consumption of coal, reduce the consumption of coal, by which we can reduce, number one, several gases, which helps to reduce the air pollution. Another thing, we preserve our natural resources which is for long lasting and we can use for larger time period. Okay. Another thing is recycling. Recycle means the material like paper, plastic, glass, metals, etc. used for making things can again be used for making new things instead of synthesizing or extracting a new paper, plastic, glass or metals. The best example I say, a bottle. Let's take a bottle. Uh, Water bottle, mineral water like Bisleri. We use a Bisleri for drinking. So we get this Bisleri water in PET jar, a PET bottle. What we do, what we basically do, when we drink the water, we throw the bottle. Instead of throwing this bottle, instead of throwing this bottle, we can use it again by washing it. We can use it again by washing or by recycling. How? By melting it again, melting, converting into sheet, converting into sheet, and then again we prepare a new water. So recycle means instead of throwing the waste, we can reuse that wastage and prepare the similar thing by that wastage. That is called recycling. Now come to the reuse. Reuse, let's suppose, that is means using things again and again, like plastic bottles which we buy, jams, pickles, etc. can again use for storing things in the kitchens. Like suppose you bring a jam. Suppose I just bring a jam from the market. I got a glass jar like shape of this. It is filled with jam. Now what can we use? When this jam get empty, that is jar get empty, we usually throw this bottle. Instead of throwing this bottle, we wash this bottle, wash it and use for keeping some other things like spices in the kitchen, and we can use this bottle in our kitchen. So this bottle is being used with and never become a waste material. So these three are, that is reduce, that is use of less use of natural resources, recycle, we can again melt it, convert it into shoot and again prepare a same thing from the previous one like a plastic bottle, or we like a waste papers or metals reuse. We use that material like boxes what we obtained from the market, or like jars or any other thing in our kitchens or in our households or in decorating purposes. So these three help us to avoid the wastage and reducing the wastage and helping them to conserving the natural resources. Look at this. These are the symbols of reduce, recycle, reuse. Look this picture. This is the decorating materials which are being manufactured or made by the waste materials obtained from the market. If you go this box actually becomes a shoe box. So by decorating this shoe box, it is being used for some other materials. Similarly, these waste material like papers are being used for making a trays in which eggs are being used to kept. So all these things are being used to again and again, which help us to conserve the environment. So finally we end up this session over here, and I hope you have understand it very well. Please kindly go through this lecture, and if you have any doubts, clear it with us, and after hearing this lecture then try to solve the ASM as per your thoughts, not for copying any other things. Thank you very much.